about that, right?
Right.
That's crazy.
It's passed down in the genes.
A warrior has better response to stress. They're much more even-tempered. They're less anxious. They're not...
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. Okay, listen guys, that was off. But we go again, innit? Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Hey, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell button for notifications of the what? Uploads, baby. And for those of you returnees, you ain't got the minerals. You ain't got the minerals. Hey guys, we're talking to you guys about Love Goals, episode 9, okay? It's very interesting. We're going to talk about Dwayne and Teresa. Hey, don't forget as well, click on the description down below to get your latest TV shows from bkworldtube.com. Alright, so we're going to go into this. We're talking about Dwayne and Teresa. Definitely this episode was a very interesting episode because we got to see an expert come in and give them matchmaking, I guess, based on their genealogy. Now, do I believe that you choose people based on your chemical makeup and your DNA? Yes!
I told you that your girl is harder than most of your dudes.
78.
That's great.
I'm 82%.
So also chose a woman who was the same kind of body build that Rebecca was. You know, it just seemed to happen. And then you know, Jacob after him also, you know, chose a woman who was similar to Rebecca, and the fact that she was also built a certain way and she was a bit of a liar, just like Rebecca was. But it's just the way it is. I don't know if you noticed, all the men in that family also lied as well. But that's just me just saying that. But anyway, back to Dwayne and Teresa. So what happened with Dwayne and Teresa was this really interesting stuff because Dwayne kind of really showed, I think, something that a lot of males show, which is the uncomfortability with the fact that masculinity isn't just about brawn. Masculinity isn't just about the arms. Masculinity isn't just about finances or money. And so what we see is that when Dwayne and Teresa are given their results, something really interesting happens. The expert says that, look, do you know what, Dwayne, Teresa, you know what, you guys are greatly matched. I think you are amazing. You're greatly matched, like 80, what are they, 78%? But with that, there was a thing that happened at the end, which was that Dwayne was called a warrior in terms of he worries, and then Teresa was called a warrior as in she fights when it comes to stress dealing, right? And he got really angst and annoyed when that result came out. And here's the reason why he got really angst and annoyed. But when we look back at the past 8 episodes before this, right, we know his story. He grew up in a family where his dad abandoned him, his mother packed him up to abandon him as well. Everyone's pretty much abandoned him. He was grown up in a household with many other kids. He went into gangs quite early on. You know, he was quite a good build, so he, you know, he's quite a strong lad, etc., right? So if you could imagine, from a very young age, your whole masculinity is built upon your physical attributes and how you handle beef, not stress. How you handle fights, not stress. How you handle finances, not stress. How you're handling these things, because stress is an emotional response. It's an emotional response. It's not how you fight with your arms. It's not how you fight with your legs. It's not how you fight with your brawn. It's how you deal with things that are uncommon, that are emotional. This is where stress comes from. And oftentimes what happens is we think because we handle our business on the street that we're able to handle stress. No. We're able to handle like situations that come like that require us to use our brawn, but doesn't necessarily mean you can handle emotional stress. So he equated his brawn and what he had done in the past as being somebody who is not a warrior. But he worries. Listen, even when the result came out, he started scratching his forehead. He was worried. Like even his body language was manifesting and showing us that he's worried by the result, to the point where he started stressing about it the whole night to say that he wanted to even change the result to say, hey, that result must be wrong. I'm the warrior. I'm the fighter here. She's the warrior. And a lot of his sentiment of why he thinks that is actually rooted in a incorrect understanding of men and women. So if you remember the last few episodes back, remember the very first few episodes, I spoke to you guys and said, did you notice the way that he chose Teresa? He said he chose Teresa because she was a strong woman, she can cook, she can clean, she can look after the family. You know, he basically chose her because he was like his mum, right? And the trouble is here, a lot of black women have become warriors, yeah? And in a sense of not worrying about you, but fighting for you, right? And he chose a woman who was just like his mother, who could fight the fight, you understand? That could hold it down. Now, if that's the case, what happens is you learn how to deal with stress. You haven't got a choice. Do you understand? And so you chose a woman who was a fighter, who deals with stress in a certain manner. We also saw the fact that we saw a few episodes later on, I said to you guys about when Teresa was saying that she stand in the way of an altercation between her husband and someone else because she's scared of her husband's reaction and, you know, beating the guy down to a point where it's, you know, it's gone past just, you know, retribution and gone into a violent attack, right? So she said she'd rather put herself in that situation. That's a warrior, unfortunately. And the thing about warriors is this as well. People who fight, warriors are people who fight not often because they want to. They fight because there is a true incentive to fight, in a sense of there's a how do you call it? There's I don't know how to say it, like when there's a just cause. That's it. There's a cause to fight, right? A warrior is somebody who fights for a just cause, not somebody who just goes out punching people. That's not a warrior, that's somebody who's crazy. So the warrior is a person who has a just cause. The just cause here is that she understands her man, she doesn't want a man to go to prison if he gets into an altercation. The second cause is this, she has to pick up the slack because he's so interested in his boys, helping his boys out, etc, etc, and focus on them, not on the family. She has to become the warrior. She has to learn how to deal with stress. And so she is the fighter in the relationship, not him.
He was a warrior, like I was like, she's soft.
But he's equated the fact that she's a female, he says she's soft, you know, she's the one that, you know, at home is the one that's worrying all about everything else, etc, etc. But he equates that worrying to being a warrior, not being a warrior. And what he doesn't understand is, the fact is if you can't deal with emotional things very well, you're not a warrior, bro. Like, you worry too much. If you can't deal with emotional stress that comes your way. In fact, the Bible says, be anxious for nothing and pray in all things. These things make you a warrior. When stress comes your way and your natural inclination in stress is to pray, right? That's what makes us, as Christians, that's what makes us a warrior, right? And if for someone else who's not Christian, your natural instinct when stress comes your way isn't to fight the world, isn't to turn into the person who acts out and fights everybody, but actually learns how to react accordingly to the situation, right? And so he hasn't deeped that yet. To the point that when later on, after the whole conversation, he actually wants to debate his wife about who is the warrior and who's not the warrior. Bro, you're worrying. You should chill. You know, and so this hyper masculinity that we've got built, and it's not just his fault, it's what we've been indoctrinated with patriarchy. Patriarchy affects both men and women, and because patriarchy creates this almost toxic masculinity and it masks masculinity as that's the true form of it. No, that becomes toxic masculinity. It's more than just that, you know. So I think it was quite interesting watching them too, and also with that as well, I felt like, you know what? Do you know when the warrior versus the warrior came about as well? It was a question. It was also questioning his manhood. For him, it's questioning his manhood. It's questioning his, like I said, his masculinity, because all he's ever known is this is how you be a man. This is how you be a man. You know, earlier on that, you know, Spirit said about generational things that pass down. Well, be a man. Be a man. Well, if you've been in a scenario where you've been fighting for your life your whole entire time, what does be a man mean? It means take care of your stuff, yeah? But it doesn't. You've got no time for emotional care because you're only thinking about how to deal with your financial, your stability in terms of where you live, etc. What you're eating. That's all you care about because that's survival. You don't learn how to deal with emotional distress because you've got no time for emotional distress because you're constantly fighting. Again, fighting doesn't necessarily make you...
There's no way.
See, you see how passionate you get? That's the warrior in you.
Because
Let me change. I'm going to change it for you. He has to accept it. It's in his DNA.
Warrior. It's the way that you respond to stress emotionally that makes people a warrior. All right? So, yeah, guys, we're going to leave it on that particular note. We're going to have some other reviews around love goals. But I really hope you guys really enjoyed this review. Let us know your thoughts down below. If you disagree, if you like, if you comment, we love it. Share and subscribe as well. Hey, don't forget, you can watch shows like this on bkworldtube.com. And yeah, we look forward to hearing from you guys. All right? Remember, think before you do. Don't do before you think. I should be thinking about what you got to do. All right? Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. More love, baby.
babe.